Do you also wish to read classic books like Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre, and actually experience what it actually is all about? But you pick it up one day and you feel that the language is too complex and the sentences go on forever, and that they describe a tree for like 28 pages and you had to give up. Well, that's me. But I have a few beginner friendly classic book recommendations for you, which may get you into reading classics. So let's begin. So now, these books are not for readers who are beginners, but readers who do read other forms of literature but are just new to classics. If you start reading overall, classics as a beginner, I'm pretty sure you'll give up on reading. So I wouldn't recommend you to read classics if you are a beginner for reading overall. But if you've been reading for quite a while now and you think that you really want to dive into classics, then I have some really easy to read classic book recommendations for you. And of course, the first one is Animal Farm by George Orwell. These are not in any order based on the difficulty or whatever. These are just in a random order basically. So basically, on the surface level, this seems like a book that is just about farm or barn animals like pigs and horses revolting against their owner, who is very corrupt, or not corrupt but is very cruel and does not tend to them on time. And that's what it seems like on a surface level, but being an allegory, this book is absolutely amazing. And it actually is all about the Russian or the communist revolution. And yes, that's through barn animals. This is more of a quick paced classic which will definitely keep you hooked from the first to the last page, and you'll feel so accomplished when you read it. And I think George Orwell's writing has that sort of depth through simple words that other classic writers fail to provide. George Orwell is just in a league of his own. I have 1984 by George Orwell as well, and I'm planning to read that this year as well. And I really want to dive into more classics this year. I am planning on reading Wuthering Heights as well. How many times have I said as well in the past three sentences? I wish that you should read this if you are a beginner for classics, because this is really simple to get by. And if you're someone who is interested into history or politics or political history, then you'll definitely love this one as well. All right, next up is one of my favorites, absolutely favorite book, not only classic, but also a favorite book, The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Now, this book is actually a children's classic, but I think that it has that mystical and magical sort of a feel that everyone can read, and so did I. And this book also has beautiful, beautiful illustrations, which kind of makes it really easy to read. And the even though the writing is like very simple, but it's very philosophical. So I feel that it makes you think on a much much deeper level. And well, yeah, I really think that this book is just something that will leave you feeling warm but also will make you feel sort of it's heartwarming, but it's also heartbreaking at some points. And it just makes you really think, and that is a tendency of classics, to really make you think. Basically, The Little Prince is about a pilot who has crashed his plane into the Sahara Desert, and there he meets a little golden haired boy who's absolutely lovable and really really friendly and innocent and cute, but he claims to have fallen to earth and he doesn't actually belong here. So yeah, that is all about their encounter. And then keeps asking the pilot silly questions and asks him to draw him a sheep. And well, what does the pilot do? He draws him a sheep. So that's basically where it all begins. It's an enchanting fable of love, loss, friendship, and also it's very poetic, very philosophical, and it's a sublime adventure of both of them. And I really feel that it's just much more than what it is written about. It is the fourth most translated book in the world, by the way. And I really hope that you like it, because it's really easy to quick get by with all the illustrations and stuff. And there's this really beautiful quote that is also printed right here. It says that all grown-ups were once children, but only a few of them remember it. So I think that just resonates with everybody. In deep down in their hearts, everybody is still a child, but yeah, this somehow we have forgotten of how to be easy or free or easygoing as children. So this is basically all about that, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. Okay, so the next book recommendation is Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, which is one of my most comfort books. I love this classic so much. Now, don't be intimidated by the size of the book. It could be intimidating from the size, honestly speaking. And now that this book has been in my collection for so long, it has brown and crispy pages, which I absolutely love. Oh, that smells that smells really good. So anyway, this is about the March sisters. You actually can also watch the movie. For actually, classics do have really good movies. Like Pride and Prejudice has a great movie. Little Women has a great movie. But somehow I also feel like I always want to read the book also, even though I have watched the movie. So yeah, that actually this book has three other parts, so I've only read Little Women. Now the the language is really easy for the book. Honestly, it is very simple to read, and maybe you could see it from a beginner to intermediate sort of level, but it is very easy to grasp, and it's very, like small town and very cozy sort of, I don't know, there's this homely feeling of that the book gives off. It's about the four March sisters who have to spend Christmas in acute poverty this time because of the civil war, and their father has gone off to fight over there in the war, and they are focusing only on the negative aspects until their mother, she teaches them how to be better women. So basically it's just the adventures of Joe, Beth, Meg and Amy, these four sisters who set out on giving, and just feeling better with the Christmas that they have, and feeling better by the joy of giving basically. But honestly, I really liked it. It took me time, but I enjoyed reading it. All right, so the next two books, I do not have a physical copy of them, but I have read them because I got them once from my library. So I have read both of these, but I don't have physical copies with me right now. So anyway, the next one is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and I absolutely love the book. It is very friendly, beginner friendly. It's like super easy to read, super easy to get by. So basically, A Christmas Carol is about Ebenezer Scrooge, who is a miserly, grumpy old man who has been retired now, well, for quite a while now. And on Christmas Eve, he is visited by his ex-business partner's ghost, that is Jacob Marley's ghost, and also by the ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and also Christmas, like, on the one that is to come, Christmas future basically, yet to come, correct, yet to come. So this is like the experiences and his encounters with these ghosts, and how that changes him as a person. So basically this is what the book is about. Again, this book is not that thick or lengthy, and it's really quick to get by, and I think that you can finish this. I think this is one of the most simplest of all of these classic book recommendations. I feel Christmas Carol is one of the most simplest to read, and I read it in school, and I absolutely loved it, and I really think that you will like it as well. So another last book recommendation, actually, another one that I've read before, but I don't have a physical copy of, is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Montgomery, and I absolutely love this one. I think it's also a series, but I don't know if it's based on the book. It's Anne with an E, so I don't know if it's same. I haven't watched it yet, despite my friend telling me to watch it again and again. But okay, we'll get to that. Um, and of Green Gables is basically a very beautiful book. I loved this book when I read it. I think I don't know when I read it. I don't have a physical copy of the book, and I think I read it. I took it from the library, I remember, but I don't remember when. But I absolutely loved the story. I think this is one of the first classics that I ever read, which is Anne of Green Gables, and it's about Matthew and Marilla Curbert, which are basically two parents who wish to adopt an orphan from like an orphanage, and they want a son so that they can make that son work in the farm and help them, in that sense. But the orphanage does a mix up, and they send Anne instead, and Anne insists to be called with an E, like Anne, and she's this really bubbly, lively sort of a girl who is absolutely hilarious and extroverted and literally talks with anybody. She's extremely talkative, and she, despite her beautiful, you know, features, she is really also very underconfident about herself. She feels a little ashamed of her freckles, of her red hair, but she's really proud of her nose. So she's really talkative when it comes to speaking about her dreams and fantasies and everything. Now Marilla, who is the mother basically, she wants to send her back to the orphanage, and she insists on doing that like ASAP. But Matthew, who is kind and rather gentle, he urges Marilla to give her a chance, that is, give Anne a chance. And soon Anne becomes the talk of the town because she indulges with literally everybody, and she's this lively and outgoing figure. And I think you will really like it. It's relatively simple to read, and it's also very entertaining, and has this cozy sort of small town, cottage sort of vibe, I don't know, to it. So I think you will also really enjoy it. I'm thinking of reading classics this year, quite a lot of them. So I somehow think that Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, Persuasion by Jane Austen are easy to read classics, which I will pick up this year. 1984 by George Orwell, again another classic that I wish to pick up this year. Secret Garden, again another classic that I wish to pick up this year. I really want to read these this time. And which other classic? Picture of Dorian Gray is very famous. I don't know if it's easy or not, but it's very famous, and I have a copy, and I really, really want to read it because I know that the main character is like extremely flawed, and that is the beauty of it. So I really want to read that one as well. So yeah, I hope you like these recommendations, and this was quite a requested video. Few people did tell me to do this video, so I'm glad that I finally got around to do it, and I really hope that you like the video. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me your favorite classic. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll meet again next Friday. Goodbye.